Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa. His childhood was not one of ease or emotional comfort. His parents, May Musk, a Canadian-born model and dietitian, and Errol Musk, a South African electromechanical engineer, divorced when Elon was still young. Their split created an emotionally complicated environment, and Elon often felt misplaced within his own family. From a very early age, Musk displayed two traits that would define his entire life: insatiable curiosity and an unusual intensity. He read for hours, anything he could find: science fiction, physics, encyclopedias, fantasy novels, and later programming books. While other kids played outside, Elon lived mentally inside imagined worlds created by authors like Tolkien, Asimov, and Douglas Adams. At age 10, he discovered the object that would become his lifelong companion: the computer. A family friend had brought home a Commodore VC-20, a primitive machine by modern standards, and Musk became obsessed. He taught himself programming in just a few days, which normally took months. By age 12, he coded and sold his first video game, Blaster, to a magazine for about $500. It was a small amount of money, but it proved something fundamental. Even as a child, Musk had the ability to create value from pure imagination. Despite his intelligence, Musk's school life was harsh. He was small, introverted, and easy to pick on. South African boys were expected to be tough, athletic, and socially dominant. Elon was the opposite: shy, cerebral, and physically unassertive. He became the target of bullies, sometimes beaten so badly he couldn't attend classes. These experiences hardened him, pushing him inward and strengthening his obsession with technology and science. Instead of reacting with anger, he developed an internal world filled with logic, numbers, and futuristic ideas. As political tensions grew in South Africa and apartheid continued, Musk became increasingly aware that he didn't want to build his future there. He disliked the mandatory military service that awaited him and dreamed of America, the land of innovation, opportunity, and technology. By age 17, he had made a decision. He would leave South Africa forever. Musk knew that reaching the United States directly would be difficult, so he used a strategic approach. His mother, May, was born in Canada, which gave him a pathway to Canadian citizenship. In 1989, at the age of 17, Elon flew to Canada with almost no money, staying briefly with relatives and doing physically demanding jobs, cleaning boilers, shoveling grain, and working on farms. It was not glamorous. It was not easy, but Musk accepted hardship as the price of escape. No matter how far he ran, a shadow always followed. His father's anger, his sharp words, his unpredictable temper, all of it became a storm cloud that never left Elon's mind. Even oceans away, even buried under books and dreams, the echo of his father's voice still made his hands tremble. But Elon discovered something stronger than fear: curiosity. Late at night, when the house was silent and the world felt kinder, he read science fiction novels under a dim lamp. Those stories weren't just entertainment. They were escape routes. He devoured tales of space travel, robotics, and distant galaxies, imagining a future where he didn't feel small. He began filling notebook after notebook with wild sketches: rockets, electric machines, futuristic cities. To anyone else, they were impossible dreams. To Elon, they were blueprints of freedom. School wasn't much kinder. Elon was small, quiet, and always lost in thought, the perfect target. One afternoon, a group of older boys cornered him and beat him so badly he lost consciousness. When he finally woke up in the hospital, something inside him had changed. Not broken, hardened. During recovery, he made himself a silent promise: one day, I'll grow strong enough that no one can ever make me feel powerless again. That was the moment the timid boy from Pretoria began turning into someone unstoppable. And then came his biggest leap. At 17, Elon packed a small bag and left South Africa alone. No money, no safety net, just a one-way ticket to a country he'd never seen, Canada. He wasn't running away from home. He was running toward a future where he could build the life he imagined. Life there was far from easy. He worked odd jobs, shoveling snow, cleaning boiler rooms, anything that paid enough for rent and food. Some nights he slept in cheap rooms with flickering heaters, clutching textbooks he couldn't afford. But he never complained. Every struggle felt like a step towards something important. At Queen's University, he absorbed every lesson like oxygen. Economics, physics, engineering. He wanted to understand how the world worked so he could reshape it. While other students partied, Elon stayed in the library, building theories in his mind that one day would change entire industries. After 2 years, Elon transferred to the University of Pennsylvania. It was a bold move, a chance to dream on a bigger campus. In his heart, he felt something strange, as if destiny was finally catching up to him. As if all the pain, all the isolation, all the nights of fear were about to evolve into something meaningful. At UPenn, he studied both physics and economics, two worlds that rarely connected, but in Elon's mind, they were the perfect pair. Physics taught him how the universe worked. Economics taught him how society worked. And Elon intended to redesign both. While living with limited money, Elon and his brother Kimball began discussing big ideas at night. Ideas that sounded impossible to everyone else. They imagined using the internet, still new to the world, to transform entire industries. Those late-night conversations in a cramped room would soon spark something revolutionary. Elon started his first real company, Zip2, working day and night in a tiny rented office. He slept on a beanbag, showered at the YMCA, and coded nonstop until sunrise. Investors thought he was crazy, but Elon didn't care. He finally felt like he was building something that mattered. Little by little, Zip2 gained traction. Newspapers began using the software, deals started rolling in, and Elon felt something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. For the first time, the world wasn't just pushing him down. It was beginning to listen. But even success came with challenges. Investors eventually pushed Elon aside, replacing him with a more experienced CEO. Elon felt the sting of being sidelined from the company he had built from scratch. But instead of breaking him, it fueled his determination to never lose control of his vision again. Soon after, Zip2 was sold, and Elon walked away with more money than he had ever imagined. But instead of celebrating, he sat quietly for a long time. Money wasn't the goal. Money was fuel. Fuel for the future he still intended to build. With his new resources, he launched X.com, an online banking startup far ahead of its time. Elon wanted to reshape money itself, to make transactions simple, fast, and global. People called him unrealistic, but Elon had stopped listening to doubters a long time ago. Once again, he worked relentlessly. He slept at the office, reviewed code lines at midnight, and pushed the team harder than ever. To Elon, work wasn't sacrifice, it was a mission, and he wasn't going to fail. Eventually, X.com merged with another company and became PayPal. The platform began growing rapidly, and Elon watched with pride as millions of people began using something he had helped create. But behind the pride was fear of losing control again. And then it happened. While Elon was flying across the world, the board voted to remove him as CEO. When his plane landed, his dream had been taken from him again. It was Zip2 all over, except now the stakes were higher, the wound deeper. A year later, PayPal was sold. Elon became incredibly wealthy overnight, but the victory felt hollow. The world saw success. Elon felt something closer to loss. He hadn't built PayPal to get rich. He'd built it to change the world. And now, he needed a new purpose. Elon wasn't sure what to do next, until he stumbled upon something that shocked him. He discovered that NASA had no real plan to send humans to Mars. Humanity, in his eyes, was losing its ambition. So he buried himself in rocket science books, reading for hours every day until the impossible began to feel achievable. He even flew to Russia to buy rockets, hoping to begin his Mars mission. But he was mocked, dismissed, and turned away. Most people would have quit. Elon simply walked out of the meeting, sat quietly on the plane, and decided, fine, I'll build the rockets myself. And so SpaceX was born, not in a shiny lab, but in a dusty warehouse filled with parts, whiteboards, and a small team of believers. They weren't chasing profit. They were chasing a dream to make life multiplanetary. But dreams rarely come easy. The first rocket tests failed, one explosion after another. Millions of dollars burned in seconds. Critics laughed. Headlines mocked him. Engineers cried. But Elon stayed calm, even when everything seemed to be falling apart. With each failure, the pressure grew. Elon poured his own money into SpaceX, even when it meant risking everything he had earned. He could feel the weight of every decision, the possibility that one wrong move could erase his entire future. Amid all of this, he discovered Tesla, a tiny electric car startup. The world laughed at the idea of electric cars, calling them toys. But Elon saw potential. He joined Tesla, determined to prove that clean energy could be exciting, powerful, and world-changing. But Tesla's early days were chaos. Factories kept failing. Investors doubted them. Cars had issues. And Elon was dividing his time between two companies that were both on the edge of collapse. Some nights, he slept on the factory floor, exhausted and covered in dust. Then came the darkest year, 2008. The financial crisis destroyed banks, companies, and dreams. Tesla was nearly bankrupt. SpaceX was running out of money. Elon felt like he was holding two falling planets with his bare hands. They had enough money for one last launch. One final chance before SpaceX would die forever. The team watched in breathless silence as the rocket lifted off. Seconds felt like hours. And then it worked. SpaceX had its first successful orbit. The room exploded with tears and screams of joy. Days later, NASA awarded SpaceX a contract, saving the company from collapse. Elon sat down, exhausted, overwhelmed, and quietly cried. Not because he was weak, but because he had carried the weight of 1,000 failures and somehow survived. With SpaceX finally breathing again, Tesla began to rise too. The Model S, sleek, powerful, and unlike anything the world had seen, started winning awards. Slowly, the laughter around electric cars faded, replaced by awe. Elon pushed forward, building massive gigafactories, betting billions on the future of batteries. People said it was impossible, too big, too risky. But Elon didn't care. He wasn't building a business, he was building the future. SpaceX began working on the next impossible idea, reusable rockets. The world mocked him again. Rockets were meant to be disposable. That's how it had always been. But Elon refused to accept tradition as truth. And then history was made. A Falcon 9 rocket descended through the clouds and landed upright on a drone ship, perfectly balanced, as if defying the laws of physics. The world went silent, then erupted. Elon had changed spaceflight forever. Tesla expanded faster than ever. New models, new factories, new energy solutions. Solar roofs, power walls, innovations that seemed decades ahead. Elon wasn't just building cars. He was reshaping how humanity used energy. But his boldest dream was still ahead, Starship, a towering silver rocket meant to carry humans to Mars. Larger than anything built before, more ambitious than any mission attempted. To Elon, this wasn't just engineering. It was humanity's next giant leap. The early tests were brutal. explosions, failures, fireballs lighting up the Texas sky. But instead of hiding them, Elon showed every failure openly, believing that progress required transparency. Each setback taught them something new. And then one day, Starship soared higher, faster, and stronger than ever before. A milestone that proved the dream was no longer fantasy. It was becoming reality step by step. Elon often stood outside late at night, staring at the sky. Mars gleamed faintly above, distant yet reachable. He imagined cities built under its red skies, children running in low gravity, humanity becoming a multi-planet species. And one day, when humanity finally steps onto Mars, people will remember the boy from South Africa, the kid who was bullied, the dreamer who was mocked, the man who refused to quit. They'll know that every step on that red soil was built on the courage of someone who believed that impossible things were just things we hadn't done yet.
Thanks for watching this inspiring journey. If you want more stories that spark motivation and growth, make sure you subscribe to this channel.